Good evening, folks. It's 2302 on the 24th day, 11th month, 2022. Yeah, it's not looking good, folks. Not looking good at all. I told you we're going to expect these numbers to rise as these days goes on as we get closer to this event. It's an ungodly amount of moisture coming, and here's the first indication of a half a meter of water being planned. And on one of the main uh, computer models, right? And then the pressure said it had to happen. I said so a while ago, and here she is. This valley is absolutely going to have difficulties. This is a Thanksgiving show, so I'm going to do my best to keep a clean language usage tonight. That's right, because geoengineering needs to be known about by everybody out there, and decided tonight to really do my best not to use certain words. It is difficult for me when I see such totals as this for such a vast area. So where this is all running over here is absolutely going to be devastated. Maxville, Bulraville, Nabucca Heads, this area here is going to be having big problems. Big problems along this entire creek line where all the water hitting these mountains and these hills come running into this valley. This is going to turn into a great big lake. It will. There's no way around it. There's so many areas of fubaricity, if you will, that I can't even begin to suss up the neighborhood. So we'll go closer to the event and we'll do what I usually do. I'll just stay up all night. Mm-hmm. And issue warnings. I think it's a shame that people like Higgins get all this money and stuff, and I'm over here eating a sandwich for my Thanksgiving dinner, which I'm very thankful for. They dine in at the cheese shop. There's a lot of waterfalls along here. Some of those beautiful ones that I've seen pictures of. I never got to see them, and that area there is going to have big problems, big problems, all aligned through here. This river is going to absolutely be busting its banks well before it gets here. Any reservoirs along the way that aren't let out well in advance are not going to be able to cope. There's just too much water coming. Too much water's coming here. So the main town of here is in great. Oh, there's a great big railroad depot. That is no surprise. Oh, it's a steam museum. Oh, man. Well, I hope those old engines and stuff don't get damaged, right? Because you've got time. You have time to move and relocate some things up to the higher gradients. You might want to consider that. The washed out track seems to be a big problem these days, and the more storms you get that are washing out the roads, the more of this that's going to occur. I don't mind if a golf course caps it. I really don't, because of the amount of pollutants and the exclusiveness of memberships of some of them don't allow everybody to play, which is wrong. Hello, Tim's Vale. My gosh, look at the amount of rain scheduled for here. Uh, this is a heads up show. I've been aware of this total now for a couple hours. I've just been sitting here with hanging my head. How do you come in, day out, telling people that, your town here of Urunga is going under. And Belenda up here, Bellingen. Yeah, over here near these various knobs. These knobs are going to get very wet, and you're going to be pouring down into these valleys. All these gulches and stuff that were dry are not going to be. And things that were prone to flash flooding the side tracks and stuff that you're used to walking down and trail and could leave you stranded. So, if you're above ground and safe, you're going to be okay. But if you're not, you're going to need to make your plans now. Where's the safest spots to go? Over the next 10 days, it's the road conditions. I don't know a safe spot. Maybe in the Kembon Plain itself. I can never ever answer that because the road conditions everywhere are so bad from the total inundation one after the other, and it's not just a single event. You got it coming up here much sooner. Your totals up here are going to be within the 6.5 to 7 centimeter range, possibly higher than that. Depends how much of this they pulse down. All this up here is coming down. All this is being moved. They've already done the move to start pulsing it over. You see a pulse here, big pulse here, directing this 1 band, 2 bands. So this backs up. This has already started moving. Got a big pulse off the coast here, big one coming straight up. The corridors of VMF that have been set up. And this is the first thing you do when you turn it, right? First thing I do is go here. And I look. And I go, right, where will the glitches be? And then go look and see if I'm right. So you'll start to understand the pattern. And it was wonderful. I was going to start the show like this today. Say, look, clear skies. Yay, clear skies. Cheers to blue skies, as Pam Watt Mills would say. And and I looked at the totals again because I'm watching. That's going to rise because it's going to take until about, when you get here to about the 12th day mark, you're going to be nearing the end of that event over here. Okay? Another one coming for this side. But I'll get to that later. Not tonight. Right? Let's just concentrate on what's going on. So then I come over here and I look. I go, yep, they diverted the flow. They sure did. So there will be a split in the clouds. And the split will start here because of the two forms of EMF created the corridor. It was already coming this way, and then just add a little bumper. It's just like putting a hand up in front of something, just directing it. It doesn't take much energy to do. Let's have a quick look in. See if we could bust if doing anything nefarious. Now, there's not much to see here other than a square edge cloud. Squares in a beam. Nothing there to see, folks. So yeah, to create the divergent flow around here was pretty easy to do. Everything was already headed that way. So coming up there toward the worst mess is all is coming here. And boy, did you get bombed. Wow. Yeah, you've had a lot of your stuff already over there in Western Australia. So the continuing of the 2 to 3 centimeter a day is well possible. Unless they change the beam pattern. So right, here's what we're looking at now is I got a Kembam City going over my Great Barrier Reef. Right, which never ever pleases me on a day of Thanksgiving. When I'm just thankful that I had a sandwich to have for dinner tonight. There's people that don't have them. I have to point that out. But look at the weird geometry of this cloud. This is geoengineering. Nazified sky, that is. As the bombs go off. And the chemtrails are a chemical trail of chemical catalysts in the sky that can use to control or modify the weather or create a cloud. Now, somebody who's new to this says, now, how is this modification allowed? I'll show you. Geoengineering balloons Paris. Right, there's a document called this. All right? And they've been trying to ratify this agreement ever since. Certain powers that be, there have meetings that I was definitely not allowed to attend because I applied. And I didn't have the correct credentials from the universities that are allowed to speak. Because not just saying your degree from just anywhere isn't good enough to participate in this. See, I'm going to go right to a meat and potatoes part of this. And this company here, they make United Nations documents, all official stuff for around the world, and these stuff have to be out there. And Mr. Burns wanted to block the Sun and the Simpsons, and guess who's here's name? Whose name is here? Now, hi, this is Mr. Burns. William C.G. Burns. Not quite a Montgomery. But if I go over here to page 13, keep on topic, you'll come to this last sentence of the first paragraph. The potential delivery vehicles for stratospheric sulfur dioxide injection include aircraft, artillery shells, and stratospheric balloons and hoses suspended from towers. Okay? Artillery shells. Boom, boom, plums. Okay? From balloons. High stratospheric balloons. Not the aircraft. And there's your aircraft. Hoses suspended in towers could very well be the things on boats for marine cloud brightening, or could be the surface air coolers of cooling towers. And things that are cited that absorbs were very interesting, where they talk about various chemicals that are on the periodic table and how they want to make sulfuric gases with water vapor, making sulfate particles. That's a chemical. And it can make a trail of cloud or smoke, depending upon which is when it. Here's chemicals where it's other chemicals. With titanium oxide. Okay, there's a titanium listed as things allowed. And I popped a link to this into the chat, didn't I, over here? And the live, yes, I did. So you guys that are understand that all these need to be looked up, and you need to look at all these things, every one of them, and you'll find one thing in common. When they say what's going to be the result, is it harmful, they always say they do not know. It's not known. Okay? So because it's an unknown, and what we do know that sulfuric acid is very harmful to fauna and coral and other things. And in our body, it throws off our electrical systems. It burns our skins, makes us sun sensitive. When it falls out on us, we might think we're getting a sunburn, but it really might just be a chemical burn. Chemicals, right? Sulfuric acid's a chemical. And if it's in your sky, and they say it can be there, and then you're smelling it in the morning, like burnt matches, then perhaps there's something is going on that you need to look into, and it's not a conspiracy to suggest something's going on. It's a conspiracy to cover it up. It's a conspiracy to conspire to do it. That's what the definition of a conspiracy is. Please know this. Right? And that's what I wanted to at least give you a basic something. And that's on page 13 of this document. It is right here in bold. You cannot miss this. I will bring it up bigger for you. You cannot miss this. It's impossible to miss this. It's right there. See the word sulfuric acid. It may be effectuated through direct injection of sulfuric acid. And it's all referenced down here by doctors with peer degrees. And then they mentioned titanium. Okay, those are other chemicals on the periodic table. So never tell me I can't call something a chemtrail when I can clearly show you that the doctors and stuff that say what's best for us are suggesting something that went against the Clean Air Act itself. Right, we'll go back to the booming pluminations of it all. As any kids watching, look at dinosaur head here, look. Yeah, look at these explosions in the sky, they're like a fireworks. Hey? Any kid can recognize fireworks in the sky. It looks like fireworks. Dun, 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 dun. Boom, 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 chem bombs suck. Boom, 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 boom. That's a glitch, isn't it? Frying you up and getting bombed. Because certain chemicals like strontium and barium in particular propagate the waveform, or they help EMF itself go through the atmosphere better than just the empty atmosphere. Look at the chemtrails. Yeah, the booming and the pluming. Down here you got some really obvious, that was a good shift, eh? Some very obvious chemtrailing going on off the coast of the islands here heading inland that I looked at earlier. See them coming and going. And that's pollution. Your car's not allowed to do this going down the road. You shouldn't be allowed to do this in the sky. No, it's very harmful to all the animals out here in the oceans. It's not good for the crops, because if you landed on that lettuce in your garden and you're chewing on it, and you say it tastes metallic, well, it's probably something fell out on it from the sky, from some of that suggested list that the mad scientists that suggest they even do sulfuric acid over a reef. Right? That's a reef. And I love it. I love the reef. So I care enough about it to come on here and have this discussion. And bless all y'all for caring about the planet enough. So let's let this clear up here. I got 1, 2, 3, 4 in an arc right here. So all this is in a circle with individual dots of not perfectly round cumulus clouds. And in the center of this one you see again 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 chem bombs. Chemical bombs going off. Something's spinning, because look at the curve. Right? You could have another fizzing wheel like firework. Woo, 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 spins around. Throwing pellets or something off into the atmosphere. It'd be very easy to do. And it would go into an arc. Anybody who fertilized the grass when they was a kid working around with those things with the spun around underneath that hopper on it knows that you can empty a hopper pretty quick and it makes a pattern like that. And while it's time for them to stop emptying the hoppers over the top of us, and they can hop that attitude on the bus out of town. Is what I think about that. I think the climate is being changed by man-made methods like this that need to stop. And we need to plant trees. The ones that belong in an area, that feed the animals. Not just make something that you can stick on the side of a house. We have to take care and nurture nature as humane beings. This being a human ain't working out. Let's be an excellent human and become humane beings, I think. And we got to talk about the things that we see that are questionable. And this is questionable beyond a doubt that this is that chemical thing they said they wanted to do in that document. This is that program of SRM. This is Scope X. It's another balloon program funded by Bill Gates. Again, this name pops up. And I'll show you that now, too. All right. Let's see if we can get this scope. I have to lean way over for my keyboard, so give me a moment. Scope X Harvard couch. Here we go. That should come up on that. Now, if you look here, you'll see a program that's funded by Gates Foundation and others. And he gave millions to this. And they have run these experiments, even though they say they had, and I saw evidence of it. They used Project Loon. And when they were only supposed to be testing to 5G signals in it, they was also spraying stuff in the atmosphere to track it. And I busted it. They took that account away, by the way. Yeah, and first thing you see is these canisters capable of powders and various things that you could put on these platforms. These gondolas. Equipment gondola. And they're very, very big. Very big. And these are your chem bomb balloons. And they say they're going to block your sunshine. What material will be released? Sulfuric acid. Says it right there. And here's a copy of that for any doubting Thomases out there that like their proofs in front of their eyeballs. And these people from here attended those meetings the other day, the COP27, to decide that this should be done. Oh, I just gave it to you twice. Well, have it. That's kind of what I think about that. Right? So these things are very much suggested to go on by people that have a vested interest in crop failure, so there's so. In the controlling of food supplies, the controlling of water, and selling of bottled water is a big commodity. So there's always follow the money. You have to. And this is well funded by the who's the members here as we click on it. Yeah, hello you, Mr. Couch. These are some of the faces you're going to see in hell. Now I'm looking for the fundings. Who's the funders? Come in. Visiting. Somebody from Zurich. Yeah, they have some bent paper clips in there. Yeah. You gotta have a little Chinese going on here. You got a little Peking University. Yeah, I'm just curious. Oh yeah, they do a lot of weather modification at the University of Wisconsin-Madison. That's who puts out this one. You get your mimic from them. This will come from Wisconsin. The University of Wisconsin usually puts these out. Yeah, they got Next Lab. They're really good stuff. Yeah, that's Weather Modification Central. So there's that. Is that not enough? We want more? Yeah, as I go through and look at your forecast. Hey, I'm doing so good so far without the swears, I think. And yeah, I think I'm in the mood to do an Imaginarium later. I said I would. If you'd like to support my work, I'd greatly appreciate it. You could do so at paypal.me/Robert Deutsch. Or message me. I got some jewelry for sale. It's really pretty and nice. And Helps me earn my way of line to till the next week's needs. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I'll never charge a subscription to do this. I can monetize my channel for clickbait and this. I just can't do it. I would feel I'd be coming on here just to make sure that you had something to watch, and I'd have to use emotive language and wind people up stuff, and that's wrong. I'd rather just come on here and I showed you the forecast. I'm letting you watch this unfold because I feel like a broken record sometimes. Man, I'm not in the mood to be a broken record tonight. I'm actually quite triggered. I'm feeling a bit alone today. So I've just immersed myself in the day itself. There's some kind of Christmas fair going on in town on the bottom of the hill. See how they cut it into bands? There's going to be some big EMF blasts out here. And this is what starts to bring in a lot of problems. It's a geoengineering move when you get it coming from both sides. Predictable folds in a V shape. You'll start noticing this move. And when they meet, they crash together and come down. Until they have something to butt up against, they'll keep moving. And they're butting up against each other. And they're going to do it over Queensland. And they're going to come in here. And they're going to wreck your world, West Rex. They are. This is going to be a devastator. It was already going to be bad. And somehow it got worse. Despite it all, you made it worse. You know that the Manic Street Preachers song. I could have written all their lines. And there you go. Here it comes. The first whiting of the spring. So this move here, this rain here, gets your stream swollen. Right? So they're already at their bursting banks. They're already having problems. And then you're going to get another batch after that. So this comes in and out, right? You've gotten wet. You've got a good batch of rain, right? An inland flow. So surf's going to be up, dude. Dude, you're going to have some good surfing. I got to throw that in there. Fun time down in Carfs. Fun time. Yeah, you're cutting school. You're calling in sick to work. And you're going surfing. Why? Because sometimes life sucks too much not to go surfing. Right? Even though I ain't doing it. My back hurts just watching it. My God, that's a terrible line of storms over here around Emerald. But Emerald can fuel its own demise with a bunch of glitches. So you'll be glitching. You'll be glitching like you got ticks. Somebody asked if I was vaccine hesitant. I will not hesitate to tell you I am an abolitionist of it. Agnes Water, you're having a problem. And I had to throw that in there. And if you don't like that about me, then don't. You make your choices about your body, and I won't get on you for it. And I will make choices about mine. Right? I had to address that. I'd rather lose my entire following, and you all go away and stay true to myself. Right? At least the wind is calmed down here today. I gotta say that. Right? Very dangerous sailing and boating conditions here along Harvey Bay coming on Wednesday. You see, you got the calms. Well, not totally calm, but then you're going to be ripping. Absolutely ripping. And if you're caught out here in this other part, boy, are you a dumbass. These are already dangerous seas on a good day. So you've got some big problems coming your way, actually. Totals-wise and storm-wise. Because look what forms there. The first hook. And what happens every time these drag down the coast? They spit. Okay? You're going to start to learn this move. Now, where's this one going to go? I do like to do my guessing. Right, your double lines. Your 14s are down here. She's headed south, folks. She's going to go slow, too. There's nowhere for it to go. All right, let's see. Let's unveil it. Oh, the mystery of it all. Go. Roll. Okay, man, move. Yeah, slow hook down the coast, yeah. Then she'll get to Brisbane. She'll spit again. She has to hug a bit because there'll be a bit of a drag. Actually, would it come in this direction? Yeah, it'll be a bit of a drag because there's a hole in the islands. Causes a Venturi effect. You'll get double winds out of here. She'll spit a second. And she'll spit. Okay, man. Adjust. Oh, she's roaring now. Now you're getting up near cyclone. The tropical storm strength, big time. So yeah, you're going to get some pounding surf. Horrendous rains. Lismore, you ain't out of the woods on this at all. This is going to be a sustained event. It's staying there a while. See, stalls. Had to. There's nowhere for it to go. The high pressure ain't moved, has it? Nah. There's nowhere for it to go. And all this moisture stripping off these storms coming right into it. And anything up in the upper level atmosphere, if raindrop gets whipped up there, blows very fast until it can drop. You're going to get some terrible totals. I think some of your backyard totals are going to be in the meter range when you're closer to the coast and catch some of that mist. You're talking 2 days of solid, terrible, horrendous lightning and rains and pummeling winds along this coastline coming here the 1st of December, around that time. My God, you poor folks. There's nowhere for it to go. This storm's just going to stay. This will be the storm that stayed. And even on this day here, it's just now going to start to be able to move. Because of the pull on this one will pull it over. And only until it get over here to the 3rd will it have even any chance at all of starting to slide south and dissipate. And then look what's here. Okay? That's your weather forecast. Here's all your totals again. This is very hard for me to do. There is nowhere to go. Nowhere. You know, when they sell in a program that could pop a half a meter of rain down on you and talk about putting chem bombs in your skies, because here says they can do it. They use chemicals in like titanium and things like that, which is not very healthy for human body, I must add. And all these say they don't know. They don't know. They don't know. You will go look. You will go look at all. Let's put some sulfuric acid in the sky like this. That's what they want to do. And you wonder why you're all having lung problems. Controlled aerosol emissions in the stratospheres. My mama told me we shouldn't be huffing aerosols. We shouldn't be breathing paint cans. And we dang sure shouldn't be treating our Mother Earth like a disposable rag. And that's all I got to say tonight. Happy Thanksgiving. And be thankful you're still alive. Big love.